Hello guys, it's been a while. I'm sorry for that. I'm going to try and get more consistent videos out. But let's start off with a great game today. Everyone expected Liverpool and Man City to be the more exciting, of course, two attacking teams going against each other, to be the most exciting game out of this and Chelsea v Man U. But it was 0-0 for that game, but this game was certainly no boring fest, if you know what I mean. 2-2, great game. I'm a Man U fan if you don't know, so it's a bit gutting. I was gonna film the video actually a bit later, but nah, I might as well let all my feelings out like 10 minutes, half an hour after the game's just finished. Of course, it's gutting, as I was saying. Last minute equaliser. What can you do? I'm just gonna rewind and just talk about all the players and all my feelings and stuff like that. And of course, at the end of the game, there was a lot of controversy that surrounded Jose Mourinho and what happened with that. Let's just start with the lineups. The lineups were very. It reminded me of a lot of the Mata playing as a centre mid. I like the idea of that, and it seems to work in my opinion. Starting Mata as a right winger doesn't really work in my opinion. I think 4-3-3 with a Mata as a right centre mid drifting out wide, and then Rashford coming inside. That's a really good way of doing it, and it worked in the second half mostly. But in the first half, we just can't seem to be consistent throughout all halves. It's just really ridiculous. Like, we're either good in the first half and crap in the second, or bad in the first half and better in the... You know what I mean? It's just like, if we're going to take it to the next level and win some major trophies, then we've got to just be more consistent. It's as simple as that. And we've got it. We've got the potential there. It's just not coming out all the time, and that can cost you. Of course, we scored 2 goals that come back from 1-0 down. But what if we played good in the first half? Well, we weren't terrible in the first half. It's just that we just lack of concentration, just lack of willingness to go out there and challenge them aggression them. That's not even a word. Just be aggressive. Whereas in the second half, when we scored, let's be aggressive now. Like, that first goal came out of nowhere, and it kind of just bobbled to Martial, who finished it nicely in the box. But that couldn't have easily not have happened. I think it was Alonso who unluckily hit the ball off his belly, and they just went to Martial, and Martial's always going to finish it. And speaking of Martial, Anthony Martial, I'm going to say this so many more times. If you start him in a consecutive run of games, he will always perform for you. Who is that good? Since his debut in September 2015, he has scored the most goals out of any other player right now in the squad. 40 goals. And that can be more if they just start him. Obviously not to death, as they've done with Lukaku. And MANCHE to some extent as well. Mourinho's kept on starting them every single game. Even if it's like a shorter windows. And you're seeing the effect that's having on the players. Even though MANCHE was very good by the end of the game, he seemed to really control. That's when his play style is good, trying to stifle the play, stop Chelsea from attacking. Of course, didn't work in the last minute, when the 90th minute, 6 minutes extra time. Bit too much for me, in my opinion. Don't know why I'm doing that. 6 minutes. Hey, I don't know. A bit too long, but of course that's a bit of my saltiness coming out, because of course we could have won this game and we nearly did. But I'll take a draw any day of the week. Of course, it would be a bit better if we were a bit higher up the table and we didn't lose to Brighton and all these smaller teams. But yeah, I'll take a draw at the Stamford Bridge. Stamford Bridge is a very unbeaten place, man. Credit to all the Chelsea managers who've kept that ground very good. You know what I mean? Like, it's a fortress now, much like how they used to call Old Trafford a fortress a couple of years ago. But that seems like a long time ago now. That was what it is. Yeah, speaking back to Lukaku's poor form, Matic, as I said, performed better by the end, but Lukaku was just very ordinary throughout the game. But I love his passion when Martial scored the second goal, or maybe the first goal, I don't know. He went on his knees and just kept on doing that. He really cares about this club, but sometimes his performance lets him down, and I really want that. And he's got it in him. He scored against Chelsea last time we versed them in Old Trafford. He's got it in him to be better than Big Six clubs, bigger clubs. He has it in him, but he just doesn't do that enough. You know what I mean? And of course, Morata had that chance. I didn't actually see that chance. That was the one thing I missed, unfortunately. I think I went to the toilet or something. Apparently, Morata had a good chance to score. I think Morata did a good. I think the thing is, I think Sarri played Morata instead of Giroud. I think many people wanted Giroud to play first. I think Morata's just good at building the play up. It's just his finishing needs to be worked on. I'm glad we got Lukaku over Morata in the end, but yeah, Giroud came on, added the aerial presence. Didn't really work out, but still the aerial presence worked for the other players. Rudiger, I think, Rudiger got the header. No, Rudiger hit the post, or someone hit the post, and then De Gea made a good save. No, De Gea saved Rudiger's header. It was just all going so fast at the time, I can't remember. Once again, I'm doing this really off the cup. Just doing this really quickly, but I'm just getting all my feelings out there. So Rashford himself, he wasn't that good also. He was better than Lukaku, but he wasn't amazing. But he did his job. Sometimes his outbreak of pace caused defenses to stretch. If I were Mourinho, I would have kept Rashford on, maybe, because I think Rashford has the ability to do special things at the end of the game. But I could see why he brought on Alexis Sanchez, and he did a good job defensively. By the end, I just want to see, and the Sanchez apparently was injured for this game, or had a slight knock after the international break, and so yeah, that explained him being on the bench. But at the end of the day, I think that works perfectly. In my opinion, I don't think Sanchez should be. I think Sanchez doesn't fit in here, in the squad. I'm not saying he doesn't fit in personally, it's with all the other players, but Martial, Rashford, and Lukaku are the dream team in my opinion. Of course, Rashford is not really suited to the right. So, of course, that can fluctuate between him and Alexis, but Mourinho just refuses to use Alexis at right wing. It's ridiculous. How much time have we gone? 6 minutes, okay. Let's just drink some water. Let's move on to the midfield. Pogba, class in the second half. He's just really good at stabilising the ball, doing little flicks and tricks to just try and get the opposing man out the way and just making forward passes. One sometimes it didn't work, but most of the time it did work. He was very good. But the first half, he was ordinary like most of the other players. He was technically at cost for the first goal, and yeah, when I was during the match, I was like, oh, it's all Pogba's fault. Why is he moaning for? It's his fault. Maybe he's just frustrated with himself, and to an extent he is. But also Lindelof, apparently, looking back, there was some kind of miscommunication between Lindelof. I don't think Lindelof quite got what Pogba was trying to do, and by the time Pogba realised what was wrong, Rudiger's already swept across him. You know what I mean? It's as simple as that. But of course, once again, Pogba was very good in the second half. Matic, yeah, ordinary again first half, but we've talked about him. Who else was in the midfield today? Yes, Mata, Mata was fantastic against his old club Chelsea. Brilliant. I think him starting as centre mid always works. I don't think I've seen a match where he's played badly in that circumstance. Coming from the right centre mid, drifting out wide, letting others come in space. There was one time when I think Mata and Mata has a good connection with most players. He likes doing that fixing tricks, not fixing tricks like 1-2 tiki taka passing Spanish thing in it. You get me? And yeah, was he responsible? Yeah. What should we call? I was talking about the Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw can actually cross the ball, unlike some fullbacks. Ashley Young, but Ashley Young was good defensively. I've never had a problem with Ashley Young trying to defend. He puts his all into it, but he's clearly not up to the standard that we need for a top team, first team for normal Premier League games. He's a great squad player. I think I've said this before about Ashley Young. He did well with Hazard. To be fair, he did very well with Hazard. But at the end of the day, I'm just really depressed about the second goal. We could have won it. If we won, it would have been a fantastic result. Could have elevated this more up into the, you know what I mean, into the table. But we've got to just move on. Got to take the result. Hopefully, we get Everton and Bournemouth. We should be winning them. No excuses. 6 points. If we play like we did in the second half against Chelsea and the second half against Newcastle, we can do it. But remember, we have to do this all throughout the time. Hopefully, Mourinho's actually and the coaches actually realise that, okay, we need to actually start playing good consistently. We need to find out what's the problem, what's going on here, what's going on in the players mentally, and yeah. Of course, that was a talk where Lukaku was talking about Inter Milan talk. I think he meant that as in maybe one day when I'm 33, 34, I'd go to Italy. Of course, he didn't say that, so it made it sound like, of course, with the media, they always try to put the agenda on Manchester United and be like, oh yes, Lukaku's another player who wants to leave. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. Luke Shaw, class again. Crossed in the ball, put in the pressure, and got the second goal, or first goal maybe, something like that. Martial's second goal, Mata was. I forgot to mention this beforehand. I finished talking about Mata. So Mata got the ball, loops it over the player. Of course, he's very small player, so he's very fast, very trickery. Plays the simple pass to Rashford, cutting inside. As I said before about the tactics and stuff like that. I'm a tactical genius, mate. Bloody hell. Forget Statman Dave. Statman Sid, mate, here. If you get that reference, I rate you. So yeah, Rashford passes to Martial. Maybe not the best first touch, but he makes the most of it because Martial is world class. Has potential to be world class if you just give him enough games under his belt. Just give him a whole season under his belt. You know what I mean? Martial FC forever. But of course, Manchester United as a whole, no player is bigger than the club. He served Man U well. He really has, and hopefully this is the waking cup. I don't know what I'm saying. Waking call that Mourinho needs to finally realise that okay, Martial does need to start now. Hopefully he starts against Juventus soon. Of course, I think Mourinho patted Martial on the back. He's like, yes, you're doing a good job. I think he hugged him. I think Martial was smiling a few times. Of course, we all know that Martial smiling is a rare occurrence. So yeah, that's a good thing. Centre backs Lindelof and Smalling. I think Lindelof didn't have much to do, to be fair, because Smalling was doing most of the job. I think they did pretty good centre backs, but at the end of the day, I can't trust them throughout the whole match. Like, you know what I mean? You don't have that confidence as you had with like Bailly or Vidic or Ferdinand. Of course, those players are long gone. Of course, Bailly's still there, but Bailly's just, I don't know what's going on with him. He's been out of favour from Mourinho, I think. We need new centre backs. We need a new right back. The January transfer window is going to be vitally important. Probably the most important transfer window for a long time, especially for Mourinho himself and him keeping his job, him getting the players he needs. It's going to be hard, and of course it's always hard in January transfer window to get players in the middle of the season. But we will. We're Manchester United, we should be attracting these players. Let's try and get a good run of results so we attract these type of players more and be like, okay, we're fine, we're stabilising, we're good. Top 4. It's going to be difficult now since we've kind of let ourselves go at the start of the season, as we've already talked about. But yeah, we can do this, and the next big game is going to be against Man City. So, by the way, my YouTube channel here, right now I'm just going to be focusing on the big games in the Champions League and the Premier League. I'll be doing these type of reviews as... sorry guys for this little jump cut. Oh, let's just sort out that. Basically, the video's recording basically stopped halfway because there's not enough storage, but I've sorted that out now. Sorry about that. As I was saying, I'll be trying to upload more consistently on this channel, specifically the bigger games, Juventus, Man City, big games in the Premier League and the Champions League. So yeah, one last topic I need to talk about, the Mourinho bust-up. I say it's Mourinho bust-up, but it wasn't Mourinho's fault whatsoever. He got provoked by Sarvi's assistant, who came over and tried to celebrate a bit too hard when he was, of course, when they equalised by Barkley's goal. Barkley's a great player, by the way. I was always scared that he was going to make a difference, especially with his recent form in previous matches. And also, I'm that kind of paranoid watcher in general, to be fair. Even when my team's winning 2-0, 3-0, I'm always like, I have to get one goal back. You never know, you know what I mean? I'm like, it's never over till it's over. I'm that kind of mentality. But yeah, enough about that. The assistant comes in. I think instead, as well as celebrating in front of the Manchester United dugout in a really unclassy way, he does something else to make Mourinho stand up and try and like go towards him as he runs away. I think in the tunnel. You know what I mean? Bit of a weird act there. I think he might have spat on the ground, done something like that, but I don't know for sure what happened. Sarvi has nothing to do with this. He's very good. He's a very good boy. He's a very good boy. Except for him smoking, but that's his choice. Sarvi, I really respect his comments before the game. He's saying Mourinho deserves to be respected, and of course, most should agree in my opinion. And yeah, Sarvi and Mourinho just talked about it. I think Sarvi said that he's going to sort it out with his assistant. I think the assistant said he apologised after. Or at least I hope he did. Unless, if he hasn't, then I have a bone to pick. Don't mess with him. Don't mess with Mourinho. Bloody hell. Now Mourinho stood his ground. And Mourinho has nothing to be sad nothing to be fined about. Fined. Well, I think he got recently fined by the FA or something like that. But no, in this case, Mourinho was just standing his ground, and I don't know what the assistant was thinking. I think maybe some unbuilt anger, or some anger built from previous days at Chelsea, something like that. Sounds like I'm talking about just soap opera or something like that. This is football. This is not TV. This is not a TV show. You know what I mean? should be a beautiful game. You know what I mean? And it's kind of put a down on the end of the match for both teams, for everyone watching. If you're neutral, supporting Chelsea or Man U. But yeah, that's all I need to say. Let's hope this video doesn't stop recording by itself. Yeah, once again, try to upload more consistently. Or like, comment, subscribe. I always appreciate your support. And I'll see you guys next time.
Hey.